Alright guys, fully come to you with another video. So it's like, I guess you can say, oh man, I guess you can say sometimes you have to fight for peanuts in order for your like value to like just go up, and then that way you can like you can, I guess you could say, um, like have more leverage. I mean, with all due respect, Devin Haney, he has his own promotional company, Devin Haney Promotions, and it's like, while it has provided him like the back end money that he would get, um, that he would get from like pay per views, or just from having regular boxing events and stuff like that. It's a smart. It's good for him to do that. It's good that he already has like a fighter on his roster and things like that. But the way that he kind of was like forced to sign a 3-fight deal with Top Rank just shows you that in the boxing world they kind of don't want like a guy to hold it down in that such way, meaning they really kind of don't want a I guess you could say someone kind of dictating these things, because it's like, I guess you could say that his desire to be great kind of outweighed the amount of money he should be making for what I think is a 3-fight deal. And in the terms of this like whole thing that they have going on, it's like everything basically in the terms of what they have going on is in the favor of Cambosis. It's not even really in the favor of Devin Haney whatsoever. You know what I mean? It's like, I think in the terms I think they're gonna have to fight again in Australia. So June 5th will be the first fight in Australia, and then the second fight will be in Australia as well. Now, what I think that Devin Haney should do to even get some more leverage, this is what I think he should do. Take the 2 fights with George Kambosos, like beat him 2 times, After you beat him 2 times, tell Lomachenko, well, you know what? I've kind of outgrown this weight, so you're going to have to come see me at 140. Take back some of the control that they're trying to take away from you. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at the whole situation. Because it's just like, we know how Bob Arum works. Bob Arum rarely does like 1-fight deals. He rarely does that. He rarely says, okay, I'll sign you for 1 fight. This is something that Bob Arum really doesn't do, right? So with that being said, with Bob Arum not really doing that, Devin Haney has to just like, I guess, work around it. Devin Haney has to just find different ways that it's going to work for him. You know what I mean? Like because it like the way they have it set up is they have it set up in such a way where everything, when you think of it, everything favors Kambosos. Home court advantage, rematch, home court advantage. I think him actually getting paid more money in a rematch when even if he loses his first fight. So it's like everything highly favors Kambosos versus like Devin Haney. You know, you feel me? And so, like, with that being said, it's like it's at the point where I believe that it shouldn't. Devin Haney has to still find a way to get something back out of this. You know, now another thing that we have to consider too, and this is not any excuse, and the thing is that, you know, unlike Teofimo, because originally when Teofimo fought Kambosos, they were supposed to fight in I want to say in Australia, but Teofimo insisted that they don't fight in Australia because Teofimo felt that they were going to get robbed in Australia. Devin Haney, though, I guess is assured of victory, and so this is the reason why he decided that he wanted to fight in Australia, and he didn't want to use that as an excuse for not fighting Kambosos. You know what I mean? Like, so with that being said, I think this just goes to show that he has the throwback fighter mentality, that vintage fighter mentality. And when it's all said and done, he's not afraid of losing and what have you. And the only thing I'm worried about, though, is the whole weight cut. Because the thing is this, when you see Devin Haney in sparring and stuff like that, and sparring is different than fighting because you're obviously working on things. But when you see Devin Haney sparring, it's like a completely different thing. And it's kind of like crazy because of the simple fact that it's kind of crazy for the simple fact that he looks amazing in sparring. And even some people have said, like some of his sparring partners have said, that he's kind of heavy-handed in sparring. Now, the thing is that weight cut is kind of like, because I'm going to tell you something. He's big. Devin Haney is a big 135-pound guy. And I guess you can say, like in the Linares fight, he looked very good, you know, pressing the action and things like that. In the Jojo Diaz fight, he looked pretty good too, but at the same time, he kind of looked sluggish, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that really has to do with the weight cut, you know. So I think, like, with him, his best bet would be to try to fight Lomachenko at 140. Many people will call it a duck and stuff like that, but I mean, let's keep in mind that there wouldn't even be a franchise championship at 135 if it wasn't for Lomachenko. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I feel that, if I know it's in this contract that Lomachenko is going to be the fight, but I just really feel that he should fight him on his terms, because at this point he's fighting Kambosos on Kambosos' terms, and it's not really getting anything out of it. But he will hopefully, inshallah, get undisputed out of it. Now, another thing that needs to be said is, you know, Eddie Hearn has now showed his true face as well, that Eddie Hearn does not really care about black fighters like that. The moment that Eddie Hearn got Canelo and what have you, he just basically showed that he doesn't really have a desire for anybody else, since, quote unquote, he got the face of boxing, and quote unquote, he got the cash cow and everything like that. So that just goes to show you his true colors. And the thing is, he didn't even try to. The crazy thing about the whole situation is he didn't even try to, negotiate himself to have the fight on the zone. Like he didn't make any effort to try to have the fight on the zone. You know, at this point, I think if you're a black fighter, you shouldn't even bother with Eddie Hearn. Because he's not going to deliver the fights to you that you want. And it's kind of funny because this is actually a funny story. The Zone actually came to my boxing gym, and they actually inquired about me because we were doing some sparring and stuff like that. And I simply said, you know what, I'm cool, because even if it means me holding out for a little while, I'd rather just have things that's gonna just be conducive in a way that I'll be able to have a situation where it's nothing but progress, and it won't just be how these other guys are going out like that, going out, not getting those fights, not getting those big marquee names when they've done everything the right way. It's like Devin Haney, Demetrius Andrade, Jaron Ennis, Erickson Lubin. These dudes are doing everything the right way, but they're not getting the fights. And they're not getting the fight. And if they are getting the fights, they're not getting the fights on unfair terms or on fair terms. And so I compare this situation to, I'm going to end this video on this note. I compare this situation to what Floyd Mayweather had to do when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. Floyd Mayweather was B-side when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. But once he whooped Oscar De La Hoya's ass, the floodgates opened up, and, he changed the whole thing. And, it was a long time coming. But maybe with Devin Haney, this is his Floyd versus Oscar De La Hoya moment where, he has to maybe take some minor setbacks in order to propel himself forward, and I hopefully this is going to be the case with Devin Haney. But anyhow, man, Foolish signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. On to the next one. Unja Rama.